race 1 of round 10.
Big gamble by the Stone Brothers team. Vigo on board with Marcus Ambrose. He's leading this one 12 seconds up the road from Cameron McLean, Eddie Abel-Nisa. These 3 cars yet to make their compulsory stops. Still got plenty of laps to go. The pit window closes on lap 23. And Ambrose still punching out some fast laps, but we're just doing our calculations. He's going to have to get a lot more of a gap over the field than this if it's going to pay off for the Stone Brothers team.
Consistency-wise, this car's looking pretty good. His fastest lap to date, 24.5, and his last lap was a 24.6. And Rodney Forbes has gone off. And he's gone off on the outside of turn 5, the sweeper, which is the fastest corner on the circuit.
Ambrose 13.5 over McLean. Greg Murphy now up to 3rd place, so Abel-Nisa's pitted. Murphy, Ingle, Paul Morris, Scaife, Johnson. That's your top 5 effectively once these guys have made their compulsory stops.
The danger with this gamble is that if something does happen in terms of safety car now, then Marcus is in plenty of strife.
Yes.
But that's the gamble that you have to play sometimes. If you know, when you're in a position where all of a sudden you don't have any strength, which is what happened with the turn 1 incident, you've got to be brave with the calls, and sometimes the brave get the goal.
As it stands, Ambrose is what? He's 23 seconds in front of
Murphy.
So
it needs a lot more than that.
Oh, it needs about 45, would you say? Something like that.
Well, slowing down and then trickling down pit lane at 40 k's and then stopping and then coming out at 40 k's. I mean, it's a long process.
The Greenfield Mowers Ford of Cameron McLean, his 3rd season in the V8 Supercars, and didn't he have an exciting weekend? One that he probably didn't want as far as excitement goes. He managed about 10 seconds of the first qualifying session before he got the spin happening straight out of turn 1. And here goes Ambrose in.
So they've decided to call him in.
Well, Ambrose is in, and I can tell you Cameron McLean is making his way in as well. This will be a crucial stop. I can see Russell Ingle making his way onto the pit straight behind Greg Murphy, so they have effectively taken over the lead. Murphy, and then Ingle, and Ambrose leaves the pits.
So we'll just see where he re-emerges on the track relative to the other cars.
Bit of a blindfold weekend for Stone Brothers Racing as far as the drivers go, isn't it? You've got Marcus Ambrose and David Bernard both racing at Winton for the first time.
Okay, so he's just rejoined behind Larkham and Bow. That'll put him 11th, just in front of Garth Tander. So he's dropped to the back of the top 10.
Still not a bad recovery.
It's good. I was going to say it's 10th now, and he was really.
You would say that strategy has paid dividends, because when you see your car out in the grass on turn 1, you think, oh, here we go. And you know, if you can start the second race somewhere inside the top 10, you're in with a show.
Yep.
We're on lap 13 of 32 in the Shell Championship Series here at Winton. If you want to jump on the net and check out all the details, there's a couple of great websites for you. The V8 Supercar official website is v8supercar.com.au. All the latest news, the full point scores, the driver details. And then there's DreamDrive.tv, DreamDrive 2001 with our ambassador, Russell Ingle. You can get the full V8 driving experience. Check him out if you're near a computer. If you're near your television, make sure you're watching this, because it's pretty much gone crazy here. Cars on the infield. Greg Murphy trying to maintain his lead. And 13 laps down at the very first race of the day.
Plenty of pressure from Russell Ingle.
It sounded like Greg Murphy on the radio then saying how many laps. And,
well, a lot more, I can tell you that.
I don't know. It's sometimes hard to pick up on the radio, but I imagine if I was Greg, that's what I'd be thinking at the moment. Let's finish this thing now.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing worse when in the back of your mind you think, I've got about 5 laps to go, and you go, yeah, you got 18.
On board with Greg, and I noticed that in the shakeout of the pit stops, Paul Morris just lost a little bit of ground there, so he's in behind Scaife now. So
Scaife's done a good job.
You can do a clean
15th from Greg to 3rd.
Very true.
Great recovery from Mark Scaife to 3rd now, 6.1 seconds behind this battle for the lead. And the last time we looked at it, he was just starting to close the gap on these two. So let's have a listen and ride with Greg Murphy in the Kmart Commodore.
Take a look at the onboard telemetry. You'll see how busy the drivers are coming into this kick.
Deceptively fast track now. When you look at some of those terminal speeds on these straights, you wouldn't think they'd be in excess of 200 k's, but it's up around 220, 230.
Oh, I was
reserved in my answer there for a moment, Mark, because I thought we were actually about to see a shunt with Ambrose.
So did I.
Right into the back of John Bow. But yes, it is. It's well, these cars are fast. They're quite fast motor cars. They get mobile very quickly from a standing start. You know, they'll go 0 to 100 k's in under 4 seconds. They're pretty quick things.
Marcus Ambrose challenging John Bow. Bow in 9th, Ambrose in 10th. Larkham, Bargwanna, Johnson, Bright, Morris, and well, Scaife, Ingle.
Oh, look at that. That was a good move. That was hot stuff. That was really good. Oh, was that a touch there?
Might have been just a little one. John gave him room. Obviously, he yielded to someone that he knew had more pace, and rather than end up in a contact situation, he left the space for Marcus if he could do it, and he did.
Each position here critical. Keep in mind the finishing order from this race determines the starting order for race 2.
Oh, hang on, does John have a problem?
Yeah.
Problem in the Cat 4 to John Bow. Some smoke coming out of the back there, and that little battle between Marcus Ambrose and Bow. You've got Garth Tander behind him.
Engine problem. That's definitely a motor, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. There's none coming out of this side.
It's continuing. Cameron McConville's in that battle as well. David Bernard, the second of the Stone Brothers Fords, bookending this bunch. The order: Murphy, Ingle, Scaife, 5.7 seconds. So Scaife is closing the gap in third to that leading duo. Paul Morris still in fourth. Jason Bright, Bargwanna, Johnson, Larkham, Marcus Ambrose. Here he is in 9th spot. John Bow in 10th.
So even on that last lap, including the pass on John, Marcus's time was at 24.8. That's pretty speedy.
So these guys,
in fact, at this stage of the race, that's massively quicker than anybody else. Like Murphy, for example, up the front in front of Russell, his last lap was a 26.1. Russell's a 26.1, Scaife a 26.2. So times that Marcus is doing pretty speedy.
Russell Ingle and the Castrol Commodores. We take a look forward at Greg Murphy. And up on the left of screen, you take a look back at Ingle's car. The two drivers. Murph's just had a look around there just to make sure that everything's in order in the cockpit. And it seems to be. Greg Murphy leads. Russell Ingle from Mark Scaife, Paul Morris, and Jason Bright making up the top 5 here. The rest of the top 10 is Bargwanna, Johnson, Larkham, Ambrose, and John Bow.
Just had a word to the Cat Racing team. Apparently John Bow isn't reporting anything in the way of engine dramas. It's just a tyre rubbing on the guard. They're going to keep him out there.
Yeah, there must have been a little tap with Marcus.
Well, as you were saying before, 126 Murphy's last time around. So the order still: Murphy and Ingle fighting over first. Scaife continuing to make inroads on this battle. He'll come into view pretty soon. There he is, just in the background, 5.3 seconds behind the battle for the lead. So Scaife has fought his way well back into contention after starting 15th. You've got to say the Holden Racing team have done a great job of getting themselves out of bad situations this year.
As you were saying before, look, Marcus Ambrose's time is the only guy in 25s consistently. 24 the previous laps. Good going, isn't it?
Yeah, they seem to have their car working extremely well. Here's Morris, who is currently running 4th, and he lost a little bit of ground in the pit stops, it seems.
Marcus Ambrose is charging. He's up to 7th now. He's just overtaken Stephen Johnson. The Pertec Falcon really on a charge. There it is. Disposed of Johnson. He's got Bargwanna in his sights now. Bargwanna's in 6th, so Marcus Ambrose working himself into a very competitive starting position. Here he is.
That's exactly the same place as he got JB.
Yep. So he's found a favourite overtaking spot.
Same result.
Little love tap. It's Jason Bright running in 4th spot.
Again, a pretty handsome recovery when you consider that Jason was one of those that had to take to the pastures.
They just got massive speed, race speed, these cars.